Astrologer Phil Booth is joining us now. Great to have you along, Phil. It's 7:39, by the way. Yeah, I was just saying, I'm a closet horoscope junkie, and I read yours every day.
Oh, right. Well, lovely. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Do it on the air. You're not a closet astrologer.
I read them on
Yeah,
the
that's
air.
right. Yeah, it's out in the open. It's free.
Just
Don't be
sit
ashamed.
back. Exactly. So we wanted to talk to you, well, about a number of things, but one is that this guy, Harold Camping, the guy who had called for the rapture on May 21.
That's right, yeah.
Then, of course,
It's a good way of getting publicity, isn't it? Like, the world is going to end today.
Just last night I had to explain to my 5-year-old what it means to cry wolf, because he kept saying someone was at the door and they weren't.
Right.
And so maybe I need to make a trip down to Harold Camping and explain that same scenario to him, because now he's saying it's for this Friday.
Yeah, well, he switched it around. I mean, the last time when it didn't happen, he said, you can't hold me responsible if you've sold all your things and killed your pets. I don't know if you say killed your pets, but if you've sold everything,
Maxed
you can't
your
hold
credit
me.
cards.
That's right, yeah, max your credit cards and everything. But the weird thing with that was, I sort of see him more as like a hoaxer and someone who's like an elitist, like there's no elite that are going to rise up, ascend or whatever. But, but it was weird that day when it happened, when that day came, because everyone was sort of watching and listening. And I remember like in the afternoon suddenly there was like the Icelandic volcano started to blow again.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. And I thought, wait a minute, great Scott, is it actually going to happen? No, it's not going to happen. And then New Zealand got an earthquake. And I thought, oh my God, that's two. And then there was a third one. San Francisco had a little earthquake as well too. Right. So you sort of like brace yourself and you think, nah.
So is he using stars and that sort of thing to
I don't know enough
calculate?
about him. I don't know if he reveals it. I mean, he sounds like he's sort of a fundamentalist and religious. Yeah. And I think he's picking up on the vibe. There's definitely a vibe going on now. There's an intensity. The vibe is very intense. I mean, we've heard a lot about the Mayan prophecy, the Mayan calendar, and and a lot of it's been sort of blown out of proportion.
Well, they're saying end days as well for 2012.
Well, what it is, it's a different kind of sort of process. It's a whole world that's coming to an end. It's 5,125 years on that calendar, and I think they were plugged. They were onto something, because they were plugged into kind of a very old cycle, and I think it's linked to the precession of the equinoxes, which I can't get into now. But it's like the Earth has a wobble and the background shifts, and what it means is we're sort of the background's kind of shifting all the time. So that what they worked out, it looks like that on December 21, 2012, the sun will when it rises on that winter solstice, it's going to be perfectly aligned with the galactic center. And the galactic center, I've realized over the last year, is really powerful. It's just an empty space, but it's in the Milky Way. There's a dark rift, and then there's the scientists have discovered there's a black hole in there. I'm not saying we're going to get sucked into it, but there's no, we're not going anywhere. If it happens, it'll be paidless. Don't worry. No. I've got it. Yeah, it'll be paidless.
You'll never see it coming, Dave.
Yeah, that's right. I'm seeing sort of a shift in consciousness, and I think it's starting to happen. I'm actually even thinking that it might be, it sounds crazy, but the birth of the age of Aquarius, the one everyone's been waiting for.
Finally,
since the 60s.
Might be coming now?
I think it could be coming now. I think we're getting close.
Why?
And
What would make you think that?
I get, like, as an astrologer, I watch my dreams a lot as well, too. I watch what planets are doing. And I'm sort of getting that impression that that's what it is. That's where we're going.
You mean like with the Occupy Toronto and things like that people are having more of a social conscience, social awareness?
Absolutely. Like Occupy Toronto was, the whole thing, Occupy Wall Street, all that, it's all really interesting because it has to do with the cycle of Uranus. And I've been sort of predicting sort of like a revolutionary spirit that's going to be building up. I've been writing about it in the last year on my Thought for the Days. This year, Uranus has been moving month by month into sort of a real war position with Pluto, which is like intensity, has to do with volcanoes, nuclear power, that kind of thing. And the last time they sort of linked up was the 60s. Time before that was Second World War, Great Depression. So these aspects go right back to that. And then you can link it up too with the French Revolution time. So there's a revolutionary spirit that's coming up. And so I'm not surprised to see this Occupy movement, and it's going to be more intense next year. This is just the start of it.
How do you sleep at night? I
don't.
You don't sleep at night?
No, I do.
Because I'm really not aware of anything outside the annex. Does that make me a bad person?
No, it makes you wise, probably.
Well, ignorance could be bliss in this case. Do I need to know about where Uranus is and Pluto and the hole?
Well, I guess you don't need to know about that, I suppose, but it sort of explains what is going on. Like you get a sense that there is something going on, that we are part of. There's some cosmic intelligence behind the whole
Wouldn't it
show.
just be stuff, Phil?
No way.
It can't just be random stuff
No,
going on.
nothing random about this. There's nothing random.
You don't
I
believe in
assure you.
randomness?
What?
You don't believe in randomness on any level?
No, well, I mean, maybe sometimes you can get kind of, there's certain, but even the random is deliberate when it happens.
What about these? What about these comets that we're seeing?
Oh,
Does
the
that have
comet.
any play?
There's comets. Comets are like messengers that come from the outer reaches, and they're like harbingers of, I don't want to say doom, but they're harbingers of major events. So, right now there's a comet Elenin, E-L-E-N-I-N, coming through. It hasn't got a lot of mainstream publicity, but boy, has it been on the internet. But back in 97, there was a Hale-Bopp came through.
Yeah.
I was in the UK then. I was watching it at night. People were gathering around at night, looking up the star. They, wow, what an amazing comet. And when it disappeared, you get that shock on August 31st. Princess Diana died. And the link was unbelievable. You get this kind of a shock, like when the news, like it came with news. And Mother Teresa died then too.
Don't you remember but there was that cult in California with those people wearing the
Oh, yeah.
sneakers?
Oh,
the people that
that's
went
right.
to
With
bed with
Hale-Bopp?
for the Hale-Bopp.
Yeah, they said there was a
Their
spaceship
spaceship behind the Hale-Bopp was going to pick them up.
Yeah.
And they all
Maybe they got picked up.
And they all
checked.
they all checked out.
I know.
Man.
But they were doing the same thing now with Comet Elenin. On the internet, all the hoaxers were on there saying, that there's a spaceship behind it. And then Planet X, have you ever heard of Planet X? They're saying, and Nibiru, that's the whole thing. There was, I think it was actually a scientist called Sitchin, and he said there's actually another planet, but it's got like something like a 3,600-year cycle, and it only comes back every so often, like that.
Oh.
And it's on its way back. A lot of people are saying it's on its way back.
Wow, that'd
And-
be interesting.
and
That'd be a
if you-
fine how do you do when
if you
it shows
dated
up on
back-
the planet someday.
If you dated back, like it could link up too with the big Santorini blow up. This, I don't know if you've heard of the volcano.
How's our show going to do?
It's going to do really well, I reckon. It started last Tuesday,
was
didn't
He
it?
born
wants to come
Tuesday.
back, right?
Yeah,
He wants to come back.
It was born last Tuesday.
Does it look good? Things lining up?
For the show?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's doing good, yeah. But I'll have to, I did, you see, when I do charts, they sort of like, you print them up like that, so, and if it's like,
Okay.
Oh, okay.
so you look at a circle. So when
There's
I do
a
my
lot
seminars, I
of lines
project
on
it on a screen, and you can rotate it and turn it around. And, like you got the Earth in the middle, that's that middle circle,
Yeah.
so it's spinning on its axis, and all the stars move around us, like that.
Yeah.
That does say the morning show launch. Did you actually do this
Yeah, I
for
did
a
that.
launch?
Yeah, I said 6 a.m. morning show. It was the 11th of October, wasn't it?
So it was
Yeah.
auspicious?
I think so, yeah, because you got Libra rising in the sky. That's what's rising in the eastern horizon.
Oh.
So it has to do with the arts, gentle
Suddenly
appeal.
Bud's coming over to see this. He
Yeah.
didn't know. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
And it has to do with beauty. When you get Libra rising, you get beauty. I mean, the set, like the color, yeah, beautiful women, beautiful,
I
men,
like how he goes to the set. He's like, yeah, the set's beautiful.
The rest, I don't know.
No, everything. No, the people are beautiful, and there's an artistic quality to it. The colors. Libra has to do with colors.
Yeah.
It's ruled by Venus.
Yeah.
So
You should be doing the charts with the management people.
How come when I
Yeah.
read my horoscope, it's not always right?
horoscopes are, of course, written for everybody, aren't they?
Yeah, how
And
can
there's-
something
well,
so
that's-
generic be applied to an
It can't be
individual?
right all the time, and mine are always right, though. No, so when the,
wrong ones.
when I do my seminars, I like to introduce people to the complexity of it, especially when I do private readings, because generally, people have not a high knowledge of what astrology is about, but when you get into it, it's absolutely phenomenal.
Phil
Amazing.
Booth, thank you so much for being here. Boothstars.com if you want to check out more. Great talking to you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
We're going to take another break. We'll be back in just a moment. It's 7:48 now.
Personal readings for all of us. Thank you.
It's the end of the world.